Hi, welcome to week 4. I'm going to jump right into the lesson for you. We are still going to be learning about systems of equations, but we're going to be learning about a new type of solving for systems of equations. And that new strategy of solving is elimination. So, come on in. This one's fun, different, interesting, but still pretty familiar because it is similar to what we've learned about systems of equations before. So the first part that we need to think about here is when is it best to use elimination to solve a system of equations? And it's best to use elimination when you have both the x and the y on the same side of the equal sign for both equations. So it's most appropriate to use elimination method when both x and y are on the same side of the equal sign for both equations. So let's take a look at these examples, and we're going to circle any of them that we could use elimination for potentially. So in this first equation, I can see that on this equal sign, the x and the y are on opposite sides. Also, the x is all alone and lonely, so that one would be best solved using substitution, which was last unit. Here, you can see that for both equations, the x and the y are on the same side of the equal sign. So this one, we would be using elimination as the best method for it. On this one, even though the x's and the y's are on the right-hand side of the equal sign, they're still on the same side of the equal sign. So nice try, tried to trick us, didn't get away with it. We're too clever for that. Okay, so this next one, we have two variables on the left-hand side, two variables on the right-hand side. So this one would be what we learned about last unit, which would be substitution. All right, so let's just jump right into doing some equations. These first two examples are a lot easier than they will get. They will get much, much more difficult than this. But it's really good to see these easy ones because that'll help you understand the big idea of how these are solved. And then we'll get into the little trickier puzzle pieces that we have to learn in order to make this work. So we're solving systems of equations, so I just want to make sure that we are still holding on to that same strategy we had during last unit where whenever we're solving a system of equations, we automatically write down an empty point just to remind us that we're going to need to solve for an x and a y. Elimination, the big idea is that we can add two equations together, just top to bottom, just like we would if we were solving an equation. And what happens when we add two equations together, sometimes if we do it right, it will eliminate or create 0 with one of the variables. And so the nice part about this is instead of having two equations that are kind of difficult to solve and having to use lots of different strategies, if we just add them together, poof, the y's are gone. 3 and 2 is 5. 96 plus negative 36 is going to give us 60. And now we just have this adorable little one-step equation. All we got to do to find what 1x equals is to divide by 5. And we get x is equal to 12. So there we go. Pretty simple. Now, to solve y, I feel like this one is a little more complicated than it was for the substitution unit, but really it's not too much more complicated. So 3x plus 4y, just like in the substitution unit, I always pick the top equation. So I'm going to take that top equation and rewrite it. And we got that x is equal to 12. I'm going to plug in 12 into this equation. So again, just like we've seen in lots of different solving situations, like when we had to solve for b in y equals mx plus b, when we've had to find x and y using substitution, you want to multiply first. So 3 times 12 is 36 plus 4y equals 96. And now it's just a two-step equation that we need to solve for y. So we're going to minus 36 from both sides. Always adding top to bottom. We created 0 here. 4y, 96 plus negative 36. Seems familiar because it is. And then we just have to divide by 4 on both sides to get y is equal to 15. And don't forget to put that into the point, and we're done. So again, these examples are a lot more simple than some of the other ones we'll be getting into. But we can see the big idea here is that when we have two variables that have opposite signs, but they are the same number. So 2 and negative 2 for this one. Over here it was 4 and negative 4. It could be any number as long as one is positive and one is negative. When we add the equations together, we get to create 0, which allows us to have, 1y and 3y, that gives me 4y. 1 and 27, that gives me 28. It allows us to get rid of one of the variables, eliminate one of the variables, so then we can have this cute little one-step equation to solve, and it looks so nice. Oh, I forgot to put my blank out there. There we go. All right, and so again, you could use either equation from the original question that you wanted to. I am going to always use the top one because that's the way I am. Taking the example here, I replaced the y with 7. We want to multiply before we start solving. So 2x plus 7 is equal to 1 minus 7 from both sides. That's creating a 0. We have 2x. Remember to add top to bottom. So positive 1 plus negative 7 gives us negative 6. And last but not least, we divide by the number that's in front of the x, and we get our final answer. So go ahead and pause the video and try a couple of those on your own. Good luck. Welcome back. I'm hoping you're feeling successful. Just so you know, the password for our assignment right here is Friday at noon, because that is our new time for our assignment session. So in code FJ Office 10, it'll be on the calendar, but just know that we had to switch the times due to the iPass in-person afternoon times. So Friday at noon is your new assignment session time. All right, so let us get into a slightly more complicated example, but really it's not too much more complicated, just a little bit. As you can see here, if we were to add these two equations together, nothing would be eliminated. Nothing would cancel out. Nothing would become 0. So we're going to use a trick where we can multiply any equation by any number as long as we multiply the whole thing by that number. And our goal is to take one of the equations and change it so that it has something that can cancel with the other equation. So taking a look at these x's, we have 3x and 1x. What could I multiply this by in order to make it negative 3? Well, that's the lovely thing about having a 1 as a coefficient, as the number in front of the variable in any of these things. So whenever you see that you have a naked variable or a 1x or a 1y, you want to focus in on that one and try to make it cancel out. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply this second equation by negative 3. So I'm going to have negative 3 times 1x, that's negative 3x. Negative 3 times positive 4y is negative 12y. And then negative 3 times 42 is going to, times 14 is going to give me negative 42. Now, I'm just going to rewrite this top equation underneath this equation. It does not matter that it used to be on top and now it's on the bottom. And now we can see that if we added these two equations together, poof, we eliminated one of the variables, which is what we want to do. So negative 12y plus 2y, that gives us negative 10y. And always adding top to bottom, so that would be negative 50. Divide by negative 10 on both sides, and you get y equals 5. And oh shoot, I forgot to set myself up for success again. But lucky for me, I remembered. All right, so now we're going to go back up, and we're going to grab that first equation again. It really does not matter which equation you use. I just always use the first equation because I like to do things the same way because I am robot. No, because I think it prevents me from making mistakes. So remember, you want to multiply before you solve. Now it's just a two-step equation, minus 10 from both sides. We get 3x is equal to negative 18. Move this out of the way here. And we're going to divide by 3. Divide by 3. We get x equals negative 6. And there's our answer there. Okay, you guys. It's exciting. You get to try the next one. I'll give you a hint. Take a look here. This is a 1x. All right, good luck. All right, I hope you're feeling successful. Let's do one more example together. We have this system of equations. We want to solve it. So we're always going to set ourselves up for success by writing a blank for us to put our answer in when we're done. This first, this one, we're going to look at the y's. So notice how it's a negative 1y and a 5y. And so again, anytime you have a 1 or a naked variable, you want to make sure that you are zeroing in on that because it's easiest to eliminate them, because all I would have to do in order to make this into a negative 5 would be to multiply it by 5. So watch this, you guys. Let's take a look over here. We're going to multiply the top equation by 5. Remember, you have to multiply every single part of the equation in order for this trick to work. Otherwise, you're doing math, illegal math moves. You want to make sure you're doing the legal math moves. All right, so again, I'm going to rewrite that first equation. 5 times 2, 10. 5 times negative 1, negative 5, which is what we wanted. 5 times 2, 28 would be 140. Okay, so let's then rewrite our second equation down below here. It's okay if it used to be on the top and now it's on the bottom, or if it stays on the bottom. It does not matter what order they're in when you are adding them together. And we did it. We created 0. And now when we add these things together, we are going to get 13x equals 169, which is a really, really nice, cute little one-step equation. All we got to do is just divide by 13 on both sides, and that means that x is 13, dividing top to bottom. Okay, so now we got to go back and we're going to snatch up that first equation. Again, it does not matter which equation you use. I just always use the first equation that's written down. Okay, so I was about to run out of time, so here's the rest of the equation. Here's all the steps written down with the correct answer. You got one more question to do on your own. I hope you're feeling successful. Remember, you can always come to the assignment session at noon on Friday, and we'll do them together.